Okay, hello, everybody. Welcome. This meeting of the Design Review Board on June 5th, 2024 is called to order by Lori Gannell at 5:30 p.m. I'll go ahead and do roll call. Bob DeCrook.
Here.
Peter Gaffer. Lori Gannell here. John Guy.
Here.
Ken Lepley.
Here.
Doug Taylor.
Present.
Ted Schriever.
Here.
Frank Davis, Council Liaison.
Present.
J. Emmanuel Stewart,
Here.
Staff Liaison. Okay, here. Javier Rodriguez.
Present.
Okay, everybody is here today. Excellent. Okay, before we begin, I will do a call to the public. Residents of the city may speak on any subjects that are not currently on the agenda for tonight. Does anybody have anything? Okay, then I will, anything that you want to speak on, Mr. Ward, that is not on the agenda tonight? You've just made the call to the public. Okay, cool. All right, closing the call to the public. We have no old business, so we'll proceed to new business. Agenda item 1, 24-41, 202 Brewery Avenue. Kendall. And if you can speak into the mic, please, and sometimes it does fall over, so don't feel like your phone's.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, I inadvertently didn't realize that I hadn't got a signal for the placement. I was here just a few years ago and I had the whole plan signed, but we decided what we. So I recently got a code violation, so I am here to try to ask them that I don't have any problems with what I'm doing. I assume that what you guys want is it's free by their kind of wooden structure or something that would fit into the tree's history or foliage plants, but my landscaping is very new, so I don't have the plants yet. That will come. So, and I emailed Amanda a photograph after I had submitted this. She said I thought she was going to give to you guys. Not sure she did. Yeah, that one.
This one?
Got it.
Yeah. Yes, we have it.
So that is what I am suggesting. Get approved to conceal the manuscript relocation that they happen.
Okay, thank you.
There's only one that's really basic, like obvious basic. The other one is behind the house and then one. But
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Is there anybody here that has public comments for or against this application? And you didn't receive anything, right, Emmanuel?
Yep.
Okay, great. So moving on to staff comment.
The one in the rear is fine. I think the other two.
Okay, thank you, Javier. All right, I will open it up for board discussion. Yes, Mr. Gaffer.
Yeah, I took a look and, there's a little fence that goes over the.
parallel to the street,
No.
perpendicular. Oh, that's my neighbor's stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that probably a little section of that, just what you showed, I think. A little overly elaborate. That's right. Then lots of stuff there and
Yeah.
then use time to put it across the way, so that would be my suggestion. Or it's a-
Right, yeah, it's gonna take a while to get the plants in and get them being fair.
be Mexican.
I have that. I have so.
They cover your
staff or anybody else?
So, what is filing? Was, I think that one was, had no permit on it. Oh, that was a violation. And then now it has to go to DRB, all mechanical has to come to DRB, electrical. Not much.
Or that it is not visible?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Comments?
So you, yeah, well, should be something taken. Yeah, I think I could fence it up with plantings around it.
Can I
Yes.
make a couple?
Okay, go ahead, come on up. Yeah.
I just had a question about, like, why there wasn't a notice given before I got the violation. That's not something. Get a notice in time to rectify it.
You were given a friendly and then a friend, after the friendly, and given notice violation.
So it's the policy not to ever give a notice.
No, you gotta notice.
Yeah, I believe we got a friendly, that's usually how we do, we send friendlies on and we send them out to the body. But it's either way.
Okay. Okay. And then I also had a question because somebody told me that, that this is, you consider a misdemeanor. There's something in the city code, I read the city code and it did mention misdemeanor, I'm just confused about the whole.
We're gonna see you on the news.
I just don't want anything on my record, you know?
Oh, it's a permanent record, so be careful.
That's only if you don't comply,
Only if you don't-
then we have to take you to court, and it was a long drawn out process.
Okay, but
But
right now I'm.
You're just, all of this is fine for that.
Okay. Okay, so
Guilty until proven innocent, no, you're fine. All right, does anybody have a motion?
To approve, issue that installs some appropriate screening, either fence or as plant. As approved by the building inspector.
I second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against, say nay. Okay, looks like, wow, there's 7 of us, 7 ayes have it, it passes unanimously with the contingency. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Moving right along. Agenda item 2, application 24-44, 226A Aqua Drive.
Hello.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife and I'm Chuck O'Brien, my wife. We New Bisbee, we just bought this house in Canada, 226 Opera. It's kind of up the hill, up a Brewery Drive, I think it's called Miller Hill. You know that big peace sign that's there, it's kind of the one that's hidden behind the peace sign. So now you can see. with the purchase of the house, we had it inspected, and we had a nice thick inspection. So that kind of gave us some good fair. Here today, hopefully get approved. There were really three major components to this application. One was things for the house itself. Other was for some stairs that lead into the house, and then there's a detached garage. For the exterior of the house, I think we had 5 things, and 2 of them were administratively approved, roof replacement. Drainage issue with the back, not left kind of 3 things that I guess we need to talk about. One was there's an existing porch on the property. We got some permanent damage, some boards that are loose. Wasn't properly installed the first time. Windows, I've got one window that has what looks like a foothole in it. Estimated pounds, I think it was stand here was the place. Windows. And then it has some siding, I think it back in the late 70s. It's just white covering, and somebody replaced it. So so that was the house.
Okay, carry on.
And for the garage, there were 5 things we were looking at. One was the hillside behind the garage has like stacked rock, and some of that started to fall and slip, so we were stacking, putting some additional mortar in there. Same thing on the front of the house. The garage itself, like, it's 50 and we trying to. Garage has 2 windows. One of the windows has no glass piece in it anymore. But the garage doesn't have a door, either a passage door in or a regular door. Well, space, you have big open space, 2 doors, as far as I can tell, it's good that way. We'd like to make it a workable garage so we can actually secure it, so we build on site some of the existing, or some, actually some corrugated, I don't know about here in this movie. We doors, the garage, and see, that's each door. Give it a little bit of light inside. Kept out 3 windows that purchased. I've got pictures. Actually, so,
Yeah.
in the application, I mean, who owns that one garage, but kind of got the inspiration. We have a garage that we saw. And then, let's see. Yeah, I guess that was it. And then I think for the, I believe I've been administratively approved for all the fixing up of the stairs.
Okay. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, moving on to public comments. Do we have any public comments for or against this application? All right, staff comments.
What's been going on here? One, two.
Okay, thank you, Javier. All right, opening up for board discussion. Seems like most of what you're doing is like for like, with the exception of adding windows to the garage that actually kind of cool, old wood. Do you have a question? Yes, go ahead.
Various items. I appreciate the intent, that you want to carry out every. I just did a walk around the house 20 minutes ago. I'd say you're probably gonna end up replacing a lot of the siding. But you can find that shiplap, replacement shiplap, locally. At the lumber store, so I should take. But I just want to inform the board, a lot of them are too far gone to. And the only other comment I have right now is the corrugated metal is really great. That's really. I just want to let you know that for 10 now, it's gonna be. I would probably recommend a pattern, round pattern, but maybe white and or just regular reflective. So, but for 10, getting.
Yeah, I think what you were probably going for was the rusted look.
Yep.
With the corrugated. You can also do that with muriatic acid and hydrogen peroxide to create that same effect on new corrugated.
But I would still have the problem with the corrugated. So you're recommending.
Well, you can get that same pattern in white and might have to go do somebody else.
If there's a product back in Pennsylvania, you know, we had home garage and use the same roof. Yeah. The difference was new roof, put your hand on it on a hot day, at home. The other one, garage, cold. Some reflected on the Pennsylvania. Can't get a
I'll talk. If we outsource the, yeah, so. We pretty much got one. It's. That's, we have a house, including.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to do that.
No,
Would
it's
it
gonna
make
be
a
hot.
difference if we put any over?
Not the hard way. Anybody else have questions? Okay. I think maybe in making a motion, you might want to address the siding. If there is a considerable amount of siding that needs replacing with a recommendation. So, anybody have a motion?
I can tell you what
I have one question.
Go ahead, Javier.
What's the door gonna look like?
In the garage?
Yeah.
You said it was gonna be, have corrugated metal on the outside.
Garage door.
Yeah.
The one, the big one, or the small one?
Both of them, what are they?
Well, the big one's gonna be
Looks
like
like that
two
picture.
swinging open with corrugated metal that I think I included a picture of.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
I got that.
Here.
But what about the other door right here?
Small.
But upstairs is the human door.
And
Yeah.
the human door was gonna be another piece of corrugated metal
Okay.
that's, with that other window.
Okay.
Look, pretty much built the same way as the one in the garage. Yeah.
Make a motion.
I was just gonna say, what my intent would probably be, I'd have to talk to my contractor, I'll figure out how to source whatever was there, which is like 1.5, I don't know if you call that ship. Call it, is that shiplap? Yes. I said. Hey, try to source some new stuff, probably try to take it off the back first. Salvage some stuff off the back, try to put it on. Don't like the idea of having. Thing.
You can stain it. You can stain
You appreciate it too.
Uh, there- make a motion. For -44, with the swinging corrugated metal garage doors. Corrugated metal. Man door with. Window and corrugated roof. And replacement of like-for-like shiplap with.
Thank you. Do you have a second? Okay, second by Mr. Crowe. All in favor say aye. Aye. All against say nay. Okay, the 7 ayes have it. It's approved. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to agenda item 3, application 24-55, 202 Tombstone Canyon, Contessa's sign. Come on.
Guys, good afternoon. I did receive a friendly reminder. I neglected to apply first for a new sign. As you know, we recently got our new patio redone. So we did our sign on, I don't know if you remember, there was an old Transamerica title in the back of the building that has been there for I don't know how many years. So we just repurposed that and 2 of our servers actually painted the sign for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Which was fun. Thank you. Public comments. Does anybody have any comments for or against this application? Okay, nothing. Moving along. Staff comment. We're good. Okay. Opening for board discussion.
Curious as to the length of the frontage of the building and the square footage of the sign.
It is 12, I believe I wrote it on the application, it's 12 by 3. 12 by 3, I believe.
Yeah, but then
You have the footage of the front of your building?
I do not, no, not from the front, no.
we have any idea. Oh, here, okay, see. I think the sign is probably too big. I'll say,
Have to get a measure. What about, Yeah, if you guys like the design, we could go with the. But what happens if you?
Okay, so we're looking at the aesthetics of the sign.
Yeah,
Okay,
if it fits in, if
Okay.
that sign fits into the store.
Thank you.
I like the sign because it looks kind of like homegrown and. Foreign. That's my good part.
Comment, I've been there quite a bit. But there are cars and vans parked there, up on the sign. Quite a bit. Seems a little bit low to me. I don't think that-
Yeah, there is room above.
Yeah.
It's too small though, it probably won't, it wouldn't fit, and then, it would, I feel like it would be kind of dangerous. So there's not a lot of backdrop in the back on top, and then it was only, that's our sign, so essentially the building owner will essentially move in there, so he'll split the building into two.
Oh,
Yeah, so we'll probably have to, submit for another sign, when that happens.
yeah.
But
No,
the
it's
square
not-
footage of the building will reduce, because it'll be into two buildings.
No, it's just my opinion to make it a little more effective.
I just asked, does this sign work for you? Is this the aesthetic for the restaurant?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, to approve application 24-55-202 Tombstone Canyon. You have a second? Oh,
Subject to.
well, subject to approval by, the city inspector, building inspector. That's with respect to sign. Do you have a second? Seconded by Mr. Gaffer. All in favor say aye. Aye. All against say nay. Okay, 7 ayes, so, pending approval by the building inspector, your application. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Moving along to agenda item number 4, 745 C Tombstone Canyon, application 24-61. Hello, Shawnee.
So, I got brought on by, Luke and, the owner of Duck Mills. Kind of take the, you've seen this project before, and, it's got a stop work order because, a lot of demos, asked for by the board. So, decided to, just do a thorough fresh fix this thing and apologize. He's so that's what we're trying to do here. There are a few changes to the build, to the design of it, because some of what was there just didn't make a lot of sense. It needed to be resolved. There was just a lot of details. Different people. Explain that, for a few of the reasons why it did get demoed to that extent, was, just that, this is necessary for the construction as, to build the ceiling height of the floor was about 7 feet. raise up that ceiling height to 8 feet. Put, the second story that we relate to it. But, well, structurally, there wasn't anything supported that, and also taking a wall from 7 feet. Out of, not like realistic things out of. Percent. But, the could have been informed and, been it was also a little confusing because it's not a contributing structure. Didn't realize that it was going to come back to done for construction related issues like that, that Phil should have reported. So that was that there. Help up. So basically a rebuild of the house, try to keep the design close to the same footprint as what was there. There are small extensions to it. The south side, there's a little roof that covers the rear entrance with French doors that go out the patio. Side, well, the big thing, I guess, is that the west side, the side that faces out, that most people see, pushed in a porch on the second floor, 16 feet, all the way along the whole front of the building. So that's the west. You have.
Yeah, we have the drawings.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, so, and then there is a little bit of an extension to the north. Because we needed to include a few where the stairs are inside the house. And so they come up, the client asked that stairs access porch without going through the bedroom. So that goes, kind of middle of it, comes out on the north end of the porch. There's a divided light door at the top of the stairs, right out on the porch. So that extended that. The top floor of the house, about 4 feet to the north. More than the placement. Most important detail. Thought those windows all then the ceiling heights to 8 feet is a very awkward height. So, it look kind of like these windows here rather than something more like 5 foot tall, 3 foot wide windows. The biggest priority is to enjoy that as much as possible and having the light create the house if possible. So having larger windows. Questions? I mean, I can go into the one of the very stuff, but yes, big point question. Yeah, and, there's a note on the east facing view of it that, I'm just, pointing this out because of, one of the previous, presenters, that the, there's going to be new splits. The condensers will be on that east side, which is up against the hillside in where, haven't placed the exact spot on the wall that it will be on, that little alleyway there, but, wouldn't be visible. That, the door to a utility closet that will be hot water house, filter, access to the pump. That, door, something. Uh, fixed, windows that are like stairwell, and frame. So it was the owner liked the house, bought the house, has lived in the house, liked certain elements of it, preserved them, including a big diamond window, I've been asked about that, the big diamond, a feature that he really likes and wants to, most of the so, the, um, there's a little dormer up in the roof. That's really decorative to break up the roof structure. Grass, but if necessary. I think that that process because of request by this board at some point at a really long time. So with that, it is that's a completion that I have it, but if it's there, then yeah, shade as a theme for this delivered uh, the on the north side, there the intent, this is not quite designed yet. It- that, you know, that's just that bump out is just a bathroom, and there are little windows that take into account the views from the bathtub, balancing act of privacy and food. But plenty of garden area and some fencing on that side for privacy from the buildings that are just below, and, without blocking. Don't know of any other.
Yeah, we might as well hang out because I'm sure we're gonna have
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Before we do, I'll just go ahead and open it to public comments. Is there anybody here that would like to speak for or against? Letters or nothing? Okay, we're good there. And staff comments? Here,
It's a whole change, so. It's good.
all right, opening up for board discussion. I just want to say one thing. Because it does happen that when there is a demolition, sometimes it comes back to us like, you guys should have known that wouldn't work unless you tore this wall down. These original drawings say first story intact, and that they're gonna raise the roof to make room above, and it says that it's 8.5 feet, but if it wasn't, that's not something that we knew. We're going by what was presented to us and what, you know what I'm saying, so
Sure.
what it ends up feeling like to us, or to me, I won't speak for everybody else, but just is that this person wanted a different house than they bought. And then, said, well, we had to tear it down and now they're getting, if they would have come to us with a completely different house. Even if it's a non-contributing structure, I don't know if we would or would not. So I just want to say that at the outset. But what's done is done, so forward.
Got a number of,
Yeah, go ahead.
we don't want going on.
Can you speak into the
Oh, I
mic?
beg your pardon. I know there was some discussion. Public. That is no area that I'd like telling that on, just giving you name. Big. And it's fairly prominent for the cause. I don't know why I was over with, but correctly. Not probably everybody, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I just think that procedurally. Stuff. And I don't want to hold. It. Procedure. So anyway,
And there were neighbors that called to voice their opinions about why does this guy just get to tear down his house and we're jumping through hoops to make small changes going in front of the board. So I'm saying there's perceptions, that are affected by just quickly, doing something of this scale and without public hearing, without it actually adhering to what was.
really, it's not really nice. But, see,
I guess this. came before you, So this is all to me. So it wasn't a normal meeting where this was noticed. If that's. That's proceed.
thank you. Those-
There was a notice posted on it for the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was 2 times that came back, so it came before the board once,
Yes,
and then it came back again,
yes.
and then, this was posted, so there was
For the original. but not
for the
the
original. But it kind of showing almost, not exactly the same But I just want to let you know there was some public.
I think that it is similar. I don't know if that has any bearing on it, but I think it's an improvement over what was there.
Welcome, thanks, Javi. Can I also, just to, I know this isn't the same thing, not exactly what you're talking about, but I have been talking with neighbors. I also have a working relationship with the two, direct neighbors, Steve and then of course, you know, no, the word. So, yeah, I mean, David worked on the project, so that, he's a neighbor and,
Yeah.
he was involved in the original design stuff. And then I went and I actually shared the drawings with Joe, so, Eliza's the only one, and I think she's on 300 feet. But, so that he was right view of it, so. The neighbors have been talked to, it's not a long spot. Make sure everybody's happy.
This, if this were contributing, I'd be.
Yeah, right.
These guys all know, I'm the most conservative person, but it was a new house anyway, I don't know, 1970s maybe, it wasn't, and it's not on the Richter scale.
Well, it says 1924.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
maybe
100
there's something
years
in,
old.
maybe something in there. Yeah, maybe the door and the side post.
But I kind of looking at like trying to find
Yeah, where
Yeah.
is the fire shack?
Yeah.
But procedurally, it looks like it was done correctly. Even if it was, I would still freak out if it was a.
Well, yeah, it would be a whole different design.
Yeah,
I mean,
and for me,
it'll be taking some latitude because it's not contributing.
Right.
To make it stuff.
And I'm not talking about the design, just I would be freaking out about how this happened.
Got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So what was it? Because I see like there's basically 3 different sets of design, so I'm just wondering. What was the order? It looks like the first one. Looks like a Brian Hope, just as built 3D, and then somebody did trace paper over it. And then there were new computer drawings. Is that like what happened? Like 3 different folks? I see David Phelps' name on there, and that's crossed off. Like
Exactly. So I just basically got a handful of papers that had a lot of, hand drawn stuff and whatever. And I just went out and took measurements. Looked at what the old thing, what the intention was, rebuilt it. Part of what I was asked to do to begin with was actually just to make some structural drawing. I didn't realize it kind of like, oh, well, all these things are unanswered. In order to get any of this stuff straightened out, you have to have a solid design that makes sense for the interior, so that there carries to the exterior, and et cetera. And basically, designing a house.
so you came in really late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A month ago or something. Yeah. So I really don't know the exact order or details. I know all, but it wasn't, the drawings that I saw weren't, didn't have accurate enough dimensions to work from, or this, that, and the other.
Some of the confusion I will take credit for because I asked Nina to include the drawings from the previous submittal so that we knew. Yeah, I think it helped because, but I wanted to know what did we approve as a, because I tossed it. And I wanted to know what we approved as compared to what's being presented.
Yeah, it'd just be helpful if it were labeled like existing condition then.
Right.
And previous submission. or Whatever,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And
That's
did
what
you-
I need to miss.
It had already been demoed when I was in on. So,
Yeah.
And you probably didn't even know that these drawings. Did she talk to you about
yes, I
the old,
heard that it was
the new film?
Yeah, I guess some of them I haven't even received, so
Yeah.
I'm seeing from here,
There's a
some more detailed ones than I had seen before, so.
It's probably just as well.
Right, I mean, I just, you know, at this point, I only took it to a level that, you know, it would be reasonable to incorporate the changes, you know, without really, you know, didn't get into all of the other elements that, you know, detailing out every. Yeah. Good call. So,
How much bigger is it going to be than the original was? That's what I'm having a little figuring out.
okay, my understanding is that originally the bathroom extension that goes off to the north, which is actually still there, is
Yeah.
9 feet wide. It's made, 4 feet, but it's 13 something wide. Okay, so that's pushed out a little bit. That's to the west. Pushed out. And like I said, the porches, it extends out over front door. Upper thing to allow for space for the stairway to come up to the porch. So there's an overhang over the front door that's about 4 feet. And then there's the little bump out in, the French doors, that. Those are the only, extensions. Or then the bathroom roof is higher. But I think that was included in the original dimension that was. Then of course, the overall roof higher to about 2 4 8 foot. Building. It's important to have the latest drawings that they'll have, so, yeah, so we can show
Yeah,
the,
right on the back page,
yeah, so.
decided to go with that,
Okay.
well, it says go with that style. I don't know what that is. It's good.
No, it's wood, I mean, it's, you know, using, you know, plywood sheathing done vertically with that on. So, because then you have the shear strength. So the actual application, it should be stapled. Wow, there's a lot of good things you have to do. I mean.
John, did you, do?
Yeah.
Nicely.
I'll ask you. So one more question.
Yeah.
Hard to find.
Way up. Yeah, way, kind of way up.
Yeah.
You know where Laughlin is, and then there's a split on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of go almost to the end and then you go up some stairs. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that part.
Oh, it's the diamond.
Well, it's good, I mean, it's preserved, it's gonna go back and it'll be there, it's just, yeah, that.
The only thing left of the building is that.
Oh, no wonder I didn't see it.
That's why you didn't see it.
Everything above the concrete stone.
Okay.
The stairs are the only access, but there's no big.
Right.
They're called these. Down's easier.
Elements on the building being proposed versus what the neighborhood actually have an opportunity to comment. But I think it's important for this to go back. It's just, there's a very, very nice front porch on it. It's gonna look directly at the backyards. Without people being able to get maybe a problem for us.
Yeah, I have no issue. I like. I love the porch. I don't know how much it's screwed up. Procedurally, I think.
Sure, but
And it's not your fault.
yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm wondering if there's if there's some element of it that could be approved pending, really the process that needs to happen is that the bathroom will come down and the, with a bunch of concrete work, footings, and, foundation work that needs to be done, to basically get it to the point where it's got that floor that is the footprint of the original house. That's probably not worth the work, right? Yeah. So, I mean, if you needed to do that, have another. What the propose is that, that the basic design, because it's close enough in footprint to the original, and anything would be different from the original in terms of footprint, would come later in the construction process, that we could get approval to, get to that first floor, get the footprint, get the structural done. And then if there's a public comment that brings up changes to the look of that.
I mean, I try all the time. Right, breaking rules. Or I'm seeing.
Can I ask staff what happened? Or is
I think the city manager thought that it was unnecessary. So send it back out because the public comment.
I'm just gonna say though, that to me, I mean, as Mr. Guy has said, that the new drawings are really different from the approved. I mean, look at the porches.
But this is the thing that we voted on at last meeting, and it's almost identical. But except for the part. And I'm just wondering if the massing and all that, do you see any difference between this sepia thing and the things that David Newfeld presented?
I will say that the drawing. Yeah, that partially could be really helps a lot of staff.
Yeah.
The porch. The sketches on piece of paper,
Yeah.
I can't tell what.
And they didn't call out any siding material. I don't remember if he said it while we were
So,
hearing.
yeah,
He did.
extremely upset. I think we should go out and public. That's why I asked you, Emmanuel, if there were any letters that they came to you. I got some first. Well, surprised they didn't. Sit and back, that's it. Who knows what the neighbors are gonna say after this? Your credit, they are, but as far as the design or whatever, like, I have issues with it, it's hardly any minor tack class, so.
Can we make a motion that gives them? No, I don't know, that's, I'm thinking that the city manager stating that it goes forward and the board saying it doesn't. They're caught in the middle.
I mean, it's their project.
Yeah.
I don't know why the city. Held to such a.
On this, it
File a
was,
freedom of information request.
on this, it was, we didn't wanna punish the homeowner, but then hold up progress on the homeowner. And I think that's why to get this going. But that was.
Yeah, and I think that establishes precedent.
That's, again, what we're saying, that's why we get criticized, is for not being consistent, right? So.
Just because somebody says.
Yeah,
Just going out for comment.
you're giving them a.
So I think that you're in a good position to allow them to, yeah. Because he's already established. Forward.
That's not what my text.
Yeah, well, yes, that's. I've seen it.
I would love to give it, if you can give some kind of just a paraphrase of what that stuff is. There are, that can, I mean, now these.
I wish they would have, but it should be part of this.
I also wish the city manager would come to the meeting. May I ask Joe Ward a question? It's been a long time since I was a building inspector. Does the word of the city manager supersede this instance, the word of the inspector? And maybe Javi like getting that one, but you've done been with this guy.
His work that can't, he's not a dictator, you cannot go beyond the city code, and that the approved code, right? But when it comes to the opinion of the building inspector and the opinion of the boss, the city manager.
Okay. Okay, so
So what we're dealing with is about. I think. go to the issue. You can't overrule.
Wow, that's good. Well, I sort of, Frank, I think you were saying something about going forward on. This-
Do it at their risk.
it's-
Not, just clear that the structural stuff that would be most important for us to get some kind of approval that the hobby would be able to get structural plans to him and push the project, get the red tag off the property so that they can do some foundation work. Those elements aren't going to be seen in the time. It's all stuff that wouldn't is that that we do, structural stuff that's yeah, I mean, if it's below grade, some of these foundation stuff. That's what I mean by at risk, because if a neighbor that's 300 notice and saying, I think that wall, that would be at risk. Having the foundation.
But it's the same footprint.
Well,
The
the
foundation is still in place.
I thought that falls out. So, that's what I'm saying.
But that was actually approved, you've approved the extension. Plan. So it affects you all. At risk. And that was done. So I think, yeah, so I think that's fine.
And then the other thing we ask them, demo the rest of that bathroom.
I think that neighbor would have a problem. If you're coming, if this plays out the way it sounds, you're coming back, July 3rd.
No, you're not here.
I'm not sure.
You're not here.
So,
I know where everybody's
Right,
going.
here.
Makes sense.
but either way,
Yeah.
Or
just be a follow-up.
Right, so,
Because once you take down that bathroom, it's a total. And everything's gone.
ironically, what
Yeah, we invited.
the owner originally wanted to just redo the bathroom.
That's
That was the start of this whole project.
Trying to get those barn doors shut.
I think it's a simple motion to ask the city to send out.
Okay.
That sounds like.
Did you get that?
Do we have any more questions or comments before we move on to a motion?
Okay, just as a clarification, would that allow specifically the demo of the bathroom? Because that's. I mean, before you put in access
But we did not approve the demo of the bathroom.
right, so this is a
We
new.
didn't approve the extension.
Actually, it's probably have.
So either way, I would just ask that we get specific permission, so we're not getting in trouble to demo that bathroom, so that we can just do the whole foundation and get everything to deck level, before the. That would be.
John, you have to make the motion. Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Sorry, so make that motion.
Do we have a motion? Who's making the motion?
Apparently I'm gonna make.
Yeah, you're gonna make the
Okay,
motion.
just help me through.
Yes,
So I
please.
make a motion. Table the application for till the next meeting. With that may proceed. The work which was already approved. Obtain the extension bathroom, this includes. Associated with that.
You have a second?
Also,
Okay, all in favor say aye.
I didn't say, I didn't say about the 300 foot.
Oh, okay, let's start over. Let's let him do
Did I
it.
start, did I say that?
We're gonna redo this.
No,
motion.
you said table application with provision, that the applicant may proceed with work already approved with the extension of the bathroom and that demolition.
So, yeah,
And
go ahead.
in the meantime, the city will, issue the 300 patient as per.
We have a second,
Yeah, I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Crump. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Okay. Right, this. Yeah. So this is, this phase of the application process, as stated in the motion, is approved now. Then see that come back next time or after giving the public a chance to respond for the remainder. Okay? Good,
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Quick.
On this, or this
Yeah,
is closed?
well, this is been the case, but everything's go up. The end.
We can do it at the end when we have, discussions for future, yeah.
I think you guys need to vote on the first, commission, because you get, okay.
Wait, say it again?
Right, on the first, thank you, the right word. But he says, and then but he left out, footnote, we already had a second on, I think you guys need to vote.
Oh, we need to vote.
vote on it, and turn it down.
Okay, so
Move to say all that again.
just do it all over, but can keep,
Well,
put the 300 foot.
First, we have to say no to the first one, right? Is that, yeah.
Okay,
So we vote on that first one that Peter made without the.
That back.
yeah, okay.
Well, it's the one without.
Oh.
Yeah, you did approve in a second without the 300.
Okay, let us now vote on the first motion, made by Mr. Gaffer and seconded by Mr. DeCrux, that did not contain the 300 foot public notice. All in favor say aye. All against say nay.
Aye.
Nay. The nays have it. That first motion is rejected.
Second.
And do we need to redo the second motion? So we're okay. Okay, we're good. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. This is a tough one. Okay. All right, moving along to agenda item 5, approval of the May 1, 2024 Design Review Board meeting minutes. I make a motion to approve the minutes from May 1, 2024. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Any recusals? No? Okay. The May 1 minutes pass unanimously. Agenda item 6. Discussion regarding the point of information meeting given by SHPO and those documents, that PowerPoint was included in our packet. Did anybody who had a chance to look it over have questions?
Well,
Yes.
I have lots of comments.
Lots of
Yeah.
comments.
I was chastised for not. And stuff on that, that 2 hours and 11 minutes. And I have to say, whatever.
It was great, right?
It was great. It was, it taught you how to be a DRB board member as opposed to giving, here's the rules. Well, this taught us how to think like,
Think like human beings and,
well, think in a different,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I think that if it possible, I would ask, Ariana to do a video without all the other going, because it was a lot of back and forth and so on. Maybe within an hour, make it a little more concise. I think some of the slides were missing. Now, they might have got lost, but because trying to follow it at certain points, like,
Were you aware that there's a topic?
yeah, I got that, and unfortunately, but I think it's the best thing that I shown. You know,
Really great.
so yeah, I mean, I got some comments that I got down. So I think one slide saying really important. One that has appropriate house. Way and explained it. It really sort of knocked the home. Really what is this house? What's important about it? And I think that's how better kind of think about it. Frank that way. Necessarily always. But I thought that was super important. So I think for that.
I'll say that Ariana is very open
Yes,
to receiving calls, to if you want to go out there, have a
Yeah.
meeting. So if you wanted to ask if she sort of a video that would, she could,
that's
I
about,
think
I
that
didn't get her caught.
I'll send you her. Yeah, and she's really nice.
Yeah, and just sort of get it down to be an hour with these appropriate slides that they made a video. I mean, I think that board member.
Anybody else have
Yeah,
Yeah.
my feeling is that this alone. So, like material section. So I think our duty now is probably. Is healing up. Really good at. See.
I should comment when I first looked at this, I thought it didn't make sense. You have to have a narrative.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that demonstrates that actually was a good presentation. If everything is written on a slide, it's an awful presentation. I was once told the best PowerPoint.
Well, that's a tough part. Maybe we should, become part of a workshop or.
She did express an interest in, she liked,
She likes coming,
and she also was very complimentary.
oh my God, off the scale.
Oh, no, really,
That
and
guy's
she,
really rough.
she said that she wouldn't mind coming back,
Yeah.
you know, so. Could probably get her to come out and give us an abridged, version of the workshop,
Something that really.
focusing on specific things that we think we need work. Yeah, it's good, you know. And also, you know, like you said, what are the features in the home, that you wanna focus on? And one of the things where we could, give a little grace to the homeowner, and she also said that it is okay to consider
Yes,
how much of a burden is it gonna be on the
Yeah.
homeowner to make the change that we're recommending? If
Yeah.
it's too great, she says you're taking the risk of losing the house altogether,
yes,
you know, because you don't wanna give a little bit here and a little bit there. And period,
and she said also, here,
exactly.
there was a lot,
And that's.
it's much different. But I did like her, yeah, I did like the way. Good, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
And when you're this close to it, you always feel that.
And Pasadena, it really was about what. That was, and Pasadena was a good story too, but it's big, you know, and. Yeah.
Not tough, that we got our act together. I think that was-
But if you have too many rules, she was, the thing with the invisible.
Yeah.
We have rules saying that doesn't matter. She talked about economics. We have been saying, and I, it's in a lot of the various, there's one little mention in zoning. Overlay, they take that into consideration, but we never. She sees. I think there's more from her on that. In ourselves. Get feedback, something.
Biggest thing was these slides that show pad remodel. And biggest takeaway of that was that it's not about the aesthetic as much as it is about respecting what is important and not really caring about as much about things that are not historic or new construction. Make sure that the new construction actually looks dissimilar, but in harmony with the old. And that it's not about aesthetic opinion so much as it is about what is historic, preserving. That's my biggest thing. You know, so for example, this one, for Adobe, this was labeled as a bad example of a good example of a bad remodel because they took this 1870s Adobe building and then extended off to the side. That looks exactly the same. You can't tell what's on. That's a bad remodel. And same with this other one, where they took this beautiful house and basically mirrored it to double sides. And tell what's-
You don't know what the original front door is.
and it's beautiful, the new addition is beautiful, but you can't distinguish it. And then they have some good examples where, you know, the volume is good, of the new addition, but you easily tell there's a material thing. Those break the stucco, or the roof line, the flat parapet roof, this sort of thing. And that's an example of a good addition. Some other bad, another example of a bad, or a bad remodel. The house is the same, they didn't do any additions, but they have these beautiful steel casing windows on the sides. They redid the windows and, oh, it's our favorite vinyl, sliding vinyl windows, right? And then they stuck it down, well, too, well, the break and probably changed there. And that was cited as a bad example. So that's my biggest takeaway is it's not so much your opinion of the aesthetic, more about how are you curating what's old and comparing what's old. And if you want to do something new, do it new, make it volume nice, and then a nice volume that goes with the old. And if it's not old to begin with, who cares?
If you Google, modern addition to historic homes, you'll find, you know, a glass box or something more, maybe more appropriate, but you'll find something completely different from a historic home. That's why, and because of the workshop that we had, you know, after I watched the video, why I think what was happening in the last presentation is a positive thing, because it's not trying to be some cutesy Disney historic home, 3/4 scale Victorian. It's trying to be its own thing, but blend in, and I give them credit for bringing. And I know we screwed up procedurally, but it, you know, design wise, I think it's.
But we're gonna have a number of challenges.
Well, they'll probably look like that. There's something sacred about the commercial building. What I don't understand is why we still have scaffolding out in the street. I think it can actually hold people's feet to the fire on. Oh, that's not. That wasn't meant to be a pun, please. I'm not that bright that I could have made that up.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, it is coming. Well, hopefully,
Yeah.
sooner than later. I'm worried about whether it's coming. Yeah, that's gonna destroy it.
We're having a non-Zoom this. Okay, we're not done.
Oh,
Okay, so, oh yeah, so item 7,
so we have one action item, we have item 6, but I was speak to.
Okay.
And see if we can.
That would be great, yeah.
okay, yeah, so see if we can't get another perhaps meeting
Yeah, but,
in the fall, another meeting in the fall will ship out.
yeah. But. Yeah. I obviously thought you.
That's an action.
Do we have to? That's fine, I mean,
I think it'll go quickly, and a lot of people go away in the summer, so more people will be here in the fall.
okay.
Okay, moving on. Agenda item 7, discussion and direction to staff regarding fines for those who tear down a building without permission in the historic district.
Hey. That's in the codes right here for Disney. We have no fines for stuff that's tore down. Besides just doubling the bill. Something that really gives someone a penalty for doing so. So that's why we're bringing this forward. Taking a look at what everybody else is doing. If you read the packet on that, a lot of places. Natural fines. Maybe we need a copy that, but not only that, I reached out to a lady in Phoenix and they're curious about what we're gonna do too and the fines that we come up with. Maybe we could start and they could follow and do the same, because they're worried about the same stuff. They have some problem that we have. Setting something compared to nothing. Great for us, as you could see, I just pulled a couple from around here. Douglas has $100 fine. Flagstaff has $100 to $500 fine, and that's a daily one. They approve daily on that. And so they, get all their paperwork and ducks in a row or comply with whatever the city has to say. Tombstones is a $50 fine. As you can see, Washington DC, they have a $4,000 fine for knocking down their historic building or just knocking down building or general. And Jefferson City, $1,000 fine. Even up to $80 in a prison. I think that was just a flat out $1,000.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's lunch for somebody doing it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better to have a higher fine as a deterrent, not as a punishment, just to keep people from doing it. Say,
Correct. We gotta have something in place, compared to what we have now.
As an architect, similar to contractor, so, architect's fee, and contractor's fee. Of construction. Permitting fee is what, 1%? Yeah. What, to apply for a permit is based off of construction cost.
Yeah, correct. If it's all about valuation.
So I would think that the demolition should be a percentage of construction. But I would say add another layer of, was the thing that they demolished built before 1960? Or did they demolish a 1980s shack that nobody cares about? Maybe there's no fine, or maybe it's like a minimal fine. But if something was built before that, that's where you get, 10% of construction costs for that, for doing that. So it's like 10% of construction costs, that, per square foot or something, and then they only demolish one wall, so that would be 10% of the house, so it actually go down.
And like all these other ones that are not contributing can become.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't say contributing, I
Yeah.
said built
Yeah.
before 19.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think there are two reasons why we're bigger.
Or three, the material that's standing is just not fun.
Oh, yeah, but that still could be discussed together.
And engineer. Well, there is, just for discussion's
Yeah.
sake. Committee meets every month. Construction project, it's held up a month. Well, so, material costs go up. Oh, there are cycles.
And I agree with you. And I think I sort of brought that up during the discussion, but if it's a wall, I don't think that's demolition. They could bring Mr. Rodriguez in and say, here's what we want to do, and if he thinks it's not a valid point, and Mr. Ward and I have done that, we brought in structural engineers to evaluate the buildings that people said are unbuildable or had to be torn down. Turned out that was the case, but I think sway.
School notes a little different. Sometimes the homeowner gets caught in the middle because of the price from the.
Ben will probably better than I am nowadays, but let's say we had a 10% fine for the building costs or tear down. 10% overrun. on the project. That's just
That was just a random number.
right, but that's just, if it's not a huge number, that's just, oh, Tuesday. It's not gonna scare any.
Yeah, like $50 is a gallon.
Yeah, right, or not even, yeah.
But, just, you don't want to find.
Once it's torn down, you don't know.
Well, doing it without approval would be.
So it's just a discussion.
But have you
You would give guidance on what you think.
Okay.
You know what the state averages are and looks like from the.
So I'll probably take the US standard and I'll come up with a number. And, maybe you guys could help me out there and keep like two, because I wanna know your guys' opinion. Like I said, this is something that not a lot of cities are doing, but they're. At us, the people who like set the bar,
So we can send you an email,
yeah.
recommend.
When I. Massachusetts.
But I would recommend that people spend time on, you got thoughts about it. Okay, can move on to staff comments. On, the administrative. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, you can make. No, right, look at that. You'll notice it's mostly mini splits and electrical upgrades, right?
But I hope this shows up in your paycheck.
It is difficult to make all the decisions right off the bat, I'll send them back and they'll come back and, we go back and forth, but we all do this really as a team. Emmanuel and Amanda, we look them over and we try to do our best on all we do. So imagine if we had all these here, we'd be here all day, So,
And a lot of these are mini splits. that,
Yeah.
Mini splits in solar is sort of, it has to be done. It's just.
and they could be removed, like Gary on said, they could be removed. They could be ground, I'm just saying, in the front, all the fruit or the hidden or their walkway, all approved. But anything in the front, no way.
That's
But
what
it's
it's,
not.
you can't have, put up a
Yeah, but even with the screen in the front, I'm not totally happy with.
Yeah,
So
that's-
side, they have long line sets where they could run into it, you know, not impossible.
And we've helped people keep fire. And maybe that's,
Talk about that fire.
yeah, it keeps happening, but it's really fun. We've helped people speak to the fire on the location, like that one on Tombstone that the utility wanted to, put it on the side or the front. I don't remember, but we made them, you know, really jump through hoops on that one. If they came now, we probably would sort of learning.
Yeah,
But anything I've seen, luckily, it's wonderful that Nine Cents have her. It's. Like I said. So that's great.
we just didn't want what happened on Spring Canyon again, that's why we put that all time place. That was horrible, the lines run all over the place, all those menus in the front, there are an eyesore, so we wanna protect the.
And on the commercial buildings that, that one that you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for your input. Future agenda item suggestions. Bob, did you have something you want to bring up?
Well, I've got two, actually.
Okay,
How do we get the word out to people? It's like. They know what
Before they even put them in, they should be putting in a building permit, and before that, they should be funded here. You can't have a building permit without the gear.
Yeah.
Most of those ones that are people they say they don't know, it's because they've done them without.
Yeah.
So,
And I like that you can handle it that day or, in a sensible amount of time so that they're not, I feel like the machine hangs people up.
we're not supposed to. That's the-
Oh, no discussion.
Bring it
I
up.
thought it said done.
Yeah, right. So what was your other?
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Well, the other one is, came to mind today when Ben said. But, Ben's pretty well connected.
Manuel can put it on the agenda for a future time, and then we can have a discussion about what's the best way
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Nobody knows, me, but some.
So, yeah, for a procedure for perhaps getting unofficial public comments onto the record so that we can take them into consideration.
They know that, must be. City attorney did a fine. Should not do what expect. Same as for that. Not special.
That the city,
The city attorney did actually give us a lecture on.
so maybe we can find that, and I don't like. Yeah. Any other future agenda items? Not discussion, but. We good? Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Just to, schedule. A deep dive on.
We want to have a special session for that.
A special session or a Zoom. With Ariana, Urban, something. So that we can get that, or maybe that link, the YouTube link is. On the gas.
The third suggestion,
Make sure it's
make sure that the
something.
typical presentation happens.
Yes, Javier.
Can we get that, matrices, completed? I know we were working on it, but, no, they weren't done. Or approved,
I think we
put that
might,
on the next one.
we might need to do another special session for that because since the SHPO meeting, you may have new ideas about what we want it to look like.
If I can address it, I think better meeting, like workshop in the fall, it'd be better to table all that stuff.
Awesome.
Okay.
You have another one?
Oh, yeah. More, a staff update on Main Street Fire. Staff update on that. If possible.
Yes,
And I have one,
okay.
which is, okay, since we're going in this direction. Thinking about when you do your matrices and you're thinking about, start thinking about things that you would suggest be administratively approved. Because I want to put together a guide of stuff that people can, and like get administratively approved. How can you get your project administratively approved? Kind of breaks it down in a simple way so that we can kind of like just get rid of all the ambiguity and just just another method to streamline it.
Okay, add it to future agenda items. We good? We good on that? Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting, fifth of the design review board. Do we have a second?
Second.
A seconded by Mr. Gaffer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lori.
Nay.
You have fun. Enjoy yourself, all right? Hey, I was fun, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.